Left versus right explained. The hidden reason we disagree. Why do people on the political left and right disagree so strongly? It is tempting to think that one side understands the facts while the other does not. But the disagreement may begin somewhere much deeper, with two different visions of human nature and how society works. Although the labels left and right are relatively modern, similar political tensions are much older. In the late Roman Republic, political life was sometimes described through the division between the optimates and the populares. The optimates generally defended the authority of the Senate and Rome's established institutions. The populares sought support through the popular assemblies and often promoted reforms in the name of ordinary citizens. These were not political parties in the modern sense, and historians disagree about how far they represented consistent ideologies. Nevertheless, the conflict reflected a familiar tension. Should society mainly preserve inherited institutions, or challenge them when they appear to serve the powerful? The actual terms left and right emerged during the French Revolution in 1789. In the National Assembly, supporters of the monarchy and established order generally sat to the president's right. Those who supported greater equality and more radical change sat to the left. The seating arrangement disappeared, but the labels survived. The left gradually became associated with equality, reform, and challenging established hierarchies. The right became associated with tradition, social order, property rights, and caution about rapid change. However, Thomas Sowell argues that the division goes deeper than a disagreement over particular policies. In his 1987 book, A Conflict of Visions, Sowell describes two fundamental ways of understanding the world: the constrained vision and the unconstrained vision. Sowell calls a vision a pre-analytic cognitive act. In simpler terms, a vision is our intuitive sense of how the world works before we develop detailed theories or examine individual policies. It is the foundation upon which our later reasoning is built. Loosely speaking, the constrained vision is associated with the political right, while the unconstrained vision is associated with the political left. However, Sowell presents them as ends of a spectrum, not two boxes into which everyone fits perfectly. The constrained vision begins with the belief that human nature has serious and lasting limitations. Human beings can be selfish, biased, and short-sighted. No amount of education, political planning, or goodwill will remove these characteristics completely. Because people are limited, the constrained vision distrusts concentrations of power, even when that power is held by intelligent people with good intentions. It therefore values checks and balances, the rule of law, established traditions, and institutions that have developed through experience. Thinkers such as Adam Smith and Edmund Burke are closely associated with this outlook. Burke did not argue that society should never change. He argued that institutions often contain knowledge accumulated across generations. Removing them too quickly may create consequences that reformers did not anticipate. From the constrained perspective, there are rarely perfect solutions. There are mainly trade-offs. A policy may solve one problem while creating another. The key question is therefore not, how do we create the perfect society, but which available option produces the least harmful set of consequences? The unconstrained vision begins from a different position. It sees human behavior as much more capable of improvement. Many of the problems we experience are not simply fixed features of human nature. They are produced or sustained by unjust institutions, unequal opportunities, poor education, and harmful social conditions. If those conditions can be changed, society can become substantially fairer. This vision places greater confidence in human reason and our ability to deliberately redesign institutions. It is associated with thinkers such as Jean-Jacques Rousseau and William Godwin, and later with socialist thinkers such as Karl Marx. From this perspective, accepting inequality or injustice as inevitable can become an excuse for doing nothing. Traditions should not survive simply because they are old. They must be judged by whether they continue to serve people fairly. These visions help explain why the two sides can examine the same problem and reach different conclusions. When the unconstrained vision sees preventable injustice, the constrained vision may see an unavoidable trade-off. When the constrained vision sees a system containing generations of accumulated experience, the unconstrained vision may see an outdated structure protecting existing privilege. This does not necessarily mean that one side cares and the other does not. They may share goals such as safety, prosperity, and fairness, but disagree about human nature, the reliability of institutions, and the consequences of intervention. There are also dangers when either vision dominates completely. An unconstrained approach can become overconfident. In attempting to transform society, it may underestimate unintended consequences or give too much authority to those who claim to know the solution. A constrained approach can become too cautious. By treating existing institutions as the product of accumulated wisdom, it may overlook the possibility that they also preserve exclusion, inequality, or injustice. This is why societies need genuine political disagreement. The world is dynamic, and different problems require different responses. A financial crisis, a public health emergency, economic inequality, and the introduction of artificial intelligence do not necessarily require the same political tools. Sometimes rapid collective action is needed. At other times, restraint, experimentation, and decentralized decision-making may work better. The goal is not to force every issue into an artificial compromise or to assume that the truth is always exactly in the center. It is to find the right fit for the problem. The left can force society to confront injustices it has learned to tolerate. The right can force reformers to consider limits, trade-offs, and unintended consequences. Each can expose the blind spots of the other. Perhaps then, the existence of left and right is not simply an obstacle to progress. When both sides remain open to evidence and willing to challenge their own assumptions, their disagreement becomes one of the ways a society learns, adapts, and prevents any single vision from gaining unchecked power. We may never remove the conflict between these visions, but perhaps we should not want to. The tension between preserving what works and changing what does not may be exactly what a dynamic society needs.